anything that is happening to you is the result of the work that you have put in. Obviously, we all need to pay bills, but we're here for much more than that. Before, I was doing beautiful cakes, but now I have a call and I want to fulfill that. No one is coming to handing you more money or to help you to be rich or to help you to be famous or to be happy with your life. You got to do the work.
Hi everyone, welcome to Giddy Up Mate. We are very excited to have a lovely guest in our studios this Sunday afternoon. Her name is Merlyn Hernandez. She is a pastry chef, cake artist and the owner of Dulce Trio Cakes. She has been baking cakes for over 10 years in this area and recently started teaching others how to bake cakes as well. And she has quite a fan following on Instagram and Facebook and other social media as well. So today I'm excited to learn her life story, her life lessons, and share that with you through this podcast video as well. So without much further ado, welcoming Merlyn to the show. How are you, Merlyn? How are you feeling today?
Very good, very excited. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. It's exciting to have you here with us. So just to set the scene about Dulce Trio Cakes and what you guys do as part of this business.
Sure. Dulce Trio Cakes was born about 10 years ago. I was located in Parramatta at the time, and I was working in hospitality. So that was my full-time job at the time.
Yeah.
And after I graduated as a pastry chef, I tried to create the business as a side hustle, but at the beginning it was really slow because 10 years ago social media wasn't as big as it is these days. Internet pretty much wasn't as big as it is and accessible.
Did Facebook exist?
And I think it was pretty slow.
Basic.
Like, very basic.
Yeah.
Same with Instagram. It was just only for photos and very simple.
Yeah.
So a source of education or learning about cakes, it was through books.
Yes.
So you either have to go to the library or buy a book.
Oh, really?
At a bookstore.
Get physical books?
Yeah.
Write recipes?
I think the cake industry wasn't as big as it is these days because of that advertising and publicity wasn't there.
Yeah.
So it was really slow, and also because I migrated myself 20 years ago, so I don't have any family members here. It was really hard for me to have an opportunity where I could bring a cake just for practice.
Yes.
Okay, because I didn't have cousins and aunties and none
really?
of that.
Yeah.
So for me to
system.
practice to do a cake, it was very slow.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so I used to do a lot of cakes for my boss at the time.
Yeah.
And all the friends that occasionally would ask me, but there will be a cake every 2 months, every 3-5 months.
Yeah. So this is when you were working somewhere else.
Yes.
And you were just doing this as a side hustle. Dulce
Correct.
Trio was not a full-on
No,
business
no.
back then.
No.
Yeah.
And I did go that way for a very long time. First of all, because I felt I did not have the full experience on how to take a business from the ground.
Yeah.
So I was doing mostly markets in Paddington every once a month.
Yeah.
Just to trial and to sort of have a bit of exposure. But as I said, marketing, what I knew about marketing at the time wasn't a big thing. I will have business cards and maybe some flyers and word of mouth. How slow that works.
Yeah.
I mean, when you don't have Instagram and Facebook working 24/7 for you.
Yes.
So
exactly.
it was pretty
things
slow.
were different.
Yeah, definitely.
It was all word of mouth. Yeah.
But then things were changing when I had my baby, my child, Leon, and that helped me to connect with other mothers that
Yes.
needed cakes.
Yes.
So that was my opportunity.
That was your pivot, your trigger.
Exactly.
Into the next.
Leon helped me to have a leap of faith.
Yes.
And dedicate myself to work full time and make sure that Dulce Trio could help me to have a business that would be my source of income, and I could look after Leon also as well.
Yes.
Another great thing that I need to add is having a partner that support you and obviously bring the money in.
Yes.
To
So you
help
could
with the expenses
experiment.
and everything. I could take the time to have a low income until I was growing the business to the point where I am now.
Yes, yes.
So,
and how are things right now for you, for your business?
Look, it's interesting. I'm still learning. I think every day we learn. I'm learning about how to manage social media, how to understand the market, what they want, how do they want me to pose, or what do they want to see from me.
Yes.
Understanding how the economic situation goes at the moment, like
yes.
What people want, because I am a service provider. As much as I'm an artist and as much as it is a creative product,
Yes.
what I do, I'm here to provide a service.
Exactly.
And it took me a while to click and to understand this is not about making the cakes that I want to do. It's about to provide a service to what the customer needs, that it comes along with what I do and how I portray my creativity.
Yeah. There's a subtle difference there, but there is a difference in understanding there, right? Because you're not just creating cakes to express your creativity, but also you're servicing somebody who needs that cake and they have particular requirements.
Correct.
So now the creative has to have that business mindset and the customer service mindset to fulfill the requirements of the customer as well.
right.
And sometimes it can be difficult.
It is, yeah. It's. I feel like a business is such an interesting journey because you're constantly learning.
Yes.
But then to become an entrepreneur it's another level.
Yeah.
And I would like to step into those shoes. I do feel like I'm still far to become an entrepreneur, but I'm working towards that. And the most important thing is to understand what the purpose is.
Yes.
And never to lose the fun of what you're doing, because there is so much of yourself that needs to be poured into the business to succeed, that if you don't have that passion, you'll burn out and then you would like to walk away.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And that's obviously not the idea.
Yeah.
But
has that happened like in your journey where you've experienced those tough times, like for example during COVID, when everyone was like trying to save money, people were losing jobs, they were probably not ordering that many cakes back then during 2019, 2020, during the COVID times? Did you have to really face, or some other examples where you had to face those challenging times where it was really hard to sustain your business?
look,
And you had to look within you deeply on what your why is to keep going, to find that motivation to keep going.
I feel those times were more at the beginning. COVID for me was a great opportunity to grow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because again, I thought, okay, how can I adapt? What can I do? I want to be still in business. I don't want to lose this. I have already implemented so much energy and time, and I was just running the classes, and I think I was running classes for a year.
Okay.
And I thought, I just can't afford to lose
And
this.
this is like kids classes or like the
Adult classes.
Adult classes you were
Yeah.
running? Okay.
So they were bringing a good profit, and there was a great opportunity for me to step in. And people were buying the classes. Like I was sold out all the time.
Yeah.
I was running classes almost every 2 weeks. So when
Okay.
COVID hit, I thought, oh, I'm gonna find a way to fight this back.
Yes.
And a great opportunity came in front of me. So I just started pumping cupcake boxes.
Yes.
And sending those cupcakes to relatives because we couldn't see anyone. We were in lockdown. We couldn't leave home.
Yeah.
But people were still having birthdays.
Yes.
So there were parents that were turning 80 years old, 50 years old, kids. Everyone wanted to celebrate or wanted to connect or wanted to say something to another relative or a friend that was not going through a good time, that maybe had COVID, they were sick. So I created sets of 6 cupcakes with balloons and a personal message. I was absolutely booked out to the roof.
Wow, really?
So COVID was a great opportunity for me to become more popular in the hills area.
Okay. And so you weren't doing any deliveries before then?
I was doing everything pretty much. Deliveries, the cakes, very small cakes, but mostly cupcakes.
But COVID accelerated the delivery part.
Yeah, because people were inquiring and they were, please, I need to send cupcakes to this person that is sick, please. And the idea was, the concept was to bring a little bit of happiness to the recipient. So I had helium bottles at home, so I was filling balloons and pumping cupcakes, and then I would go and deliver them, because I think at the time we also had a restriction. At some point in time we could only leave about 5 kilometers radius, but because I was a service provider I could go a little bit further away. So COVID was an opportunity for me to grow, and my business grew a lot.
Oh, wow.
A lot.
Yeah.
Just before that, it was a little bit just, it was a little bit slower when I was only doing cakes.
Yeah.
Because...
So cupcakes and doing those small packages.
Yeah, before I was doing only cakes and no classes, it was a lot of time invested in that. Yeah. And I just felt like the business wasn't growing as fast as I was hoping for.
Yeah.
Because you can only do a certain amount of cakes and cupcakes per week, depending of, you can only take so much work, orders.
Yes.
And it can be exhausting and very isolated.
Yes.
So when the classes...
You're by yourself, you're doing your own, there's no one...
That's right. You are at home 24/7 with the same people, husband and kids. They go to their own activities and they come back and they got a lot of things to tell you what happened in their day. But I was in the same place all the time. And it's like, okay, so who can I talk to?
Yes.
So I was getting a little bit burnt out from that until people were requesting, why don't you teach what you know about cakes? And then one class came along and a second class, and slowly I was just teaching.
And I've been to your class, and can I tell you, when I observed Merlyn in this class, you were so full of energy and enthusiasm. Like the whole 3 hours, you were just standing on your feet. You didn't even sit down for a second. You didn't even lean down for a second. And it was late on a Sunday afternoon as well, so it wasn't bright and early kind of thing. But you had the passion and you had the drive, and so it was very visible to me.
It's I feel like when that is my purpose.
Yes. And
I realized that a while ago. My purpose is teaching what I love, but that is my core.
Yes.
So that's what I can do it, no matter how tired I am.
Yeah.
No matter how late I went to bed the night before because I was caking.
Yes.
It's just I gotta be there because I got something to do, and I enjoy so much just to be sociable and to have that human contact, just to be with other people. And what a great opportunity just to have an audience that actually are coming to you because they want to learn what you do.
Yes.
So it's a beautiful opportunity. It's really rich. I feel very grateful that every time I have a class, I have an opportunity to meet someone, you don't know the story of that person. You don't know why that person is coming to your class. Maybe it's coming because they are stressed at home, they got problems, maybe they got a kid with disability, maybe they're having problems at work, or maybe it is that they do want to pursue cake decorating as a hobby or a business, or as a business. So everybody got a different story to share, and that is magic, to be able to give them a little bit of your experience and your knowledge, and just to convince them that anyone can learn anything.
Yes.
Because in this life, everything can be learned.
Yes.
You don't need to be a special person or a genius.
Yeah.
Anything can be learned. And the techniques and the skills that I use with the right equipments, anyone can do it.
Yeah.
Either for a pleasure or for pursuing cake decorating, or just to have a good time, a good experience.
Yeah.
You just put a spark on someone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The credit is all for her because she had put the work to make that happen.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can be an incentive for someone, it means a lot. That's why I started doing the kids' classes, running them more often, because I have seen repeating children that come to the class. To the point that the mothers contact me and say, look, they are so inspired, they want to keep coming to your classes, they feel like, they want to do baking when they grow up. And I thought, oh my God, it's so funny. You
planted the seed in
I'm just
life.
running a class of 15 children, and then I'm explaining them how to do these hearts, these flowers, and they look at me and they said to me, you are so talented. Honestly, it's like, it's a 9-year-old telling me that I'm so talented. Like, this is really easy. Thank you for that. But it means so much, because they're looking at you like, wow, you are amazing.
Yes.
And I'm just here to teach you that you can be amazing too.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
We got so many self-beliefs, and especially children are very prone to
you just never know, like, what you have sparked in somebody.
Or you can inspire someone, or it's... I feel this is what this century is about.
Yes.
About helping others.
Absolutely.
And grow together.
Learner's era. Yeah. Have you learned something from your students, like in a class, or from, a customer of yours, where you taught them something and you're like, oh, this is a great idea, and this is something I can incorporate in my business or in my work, in my cake art?
Definitely. Every time that I have a class, I do learn something.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do have cake artists that do cakes, more of a side hustle, but they do have certain level of experience.
Yeah.
And they tell me, oh, I do it this way, or I do it that way. And I say, okay, what's the way that you like to do it? Show me. I always like to see how the student feel more comfortable with either the way that they do it or the way that I can teach them. And I always tell them, you gotta feel confident with your technique. Okay? If you want to merge something else that I'm teaching, but it's important that you feel confident, feel happy with what you're doing. So I always ask them, so how do you do it? Oh, well, I like to, take these colors and put it this way. So there is always something new that you can learn. Absolutely.
Yes.
And definitely, sometimes I get feedback from customers saying, oh, look, next time can you also give us, an extra flavor? So I decided to then implement a dozen cupcakes that come in 3 different flavors rather than 1 flavor, 2 flavors. So it is important to listen, because you're here to serve them.
Yes.
So if you want to be in business, you got to pay attention what they're asking for.
Yeah, and that's why you're so successful. That's why your cakes are taking off in this area, because like you are listening. You're not like, oh, I'm the cake queen, I know everything, I'm not going to change anything in my work.
And don't take me wrong. At the beginning, I used to whinge. Oh, dozen cupcakes.
Yeah.
Paw Patrol. Oh, how boring.
Yeah.
because that's not creative.
Yeah.
There's nothing modern and fancy, and it's just Paw Patrol.
Yeah, because
It
you were servicing
is.
yourself back then.
Exactly. So it is a way to understand that not everything that you do, it's meant to fulfill your creativity. There is always an opportunity to do something that is creative, because people will give you the license to do something, completely artistic.
Yes.
And there will be another customer that comes, look, I need cupcakes for a school, just one blue icing with a Paw Patrol edible print. Fantastic. It will taste amazing and it will look beautiful.
Yes.
It doesn't really gonna go into first prize the Easter show.
Yes.
But if you're serving someone,
Exactly.
and it still tastes good, and that person will come back most likely for them for another set or for another cake.
So some cakes are your expression of your creativity, and some cakes are opportunities for you to learn and grow further in your art of making
Absolutely.
cake. Yeah.
And it's like a muscle. It's like when you go to the gym and you want to get your biceps bigger.
Yeah.
The more work you do,
Yes.
the quicker and the better you become a bit creative and a bit efficient. At the beginning, it's hard. When you have one cake every 4 weeks, 5 weeks, it's like, oh, what am I going to do?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because that opportunity doesn't come along so often.
Yes.
So just to put in practice your mind to create something,
Yes.
the more you do it, the better you become at it.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that's quite cool.
Can I ask you, like, way back, like before you came to Australia, your journey prior, like the cultural background, the heritage that you're coming from? Can you share a little bit about where you grew up, your childhood?
Sure.
And because the reason why I'm asking is because a lot of that is part of our personality as well, and the way we do business, the way we think, we operate, a lot of that is coming from a place of, our growth, our childhood as well. So anything you can share with us about your background? I can guess that it's a very colorful background.
It is. Well, I come from Caracas, Venezuela, in South America, tropical weather. Funny enough, when I was a kid, I always had that feeling that I was to live overseas.
Oh,
that
okay.
I wasn't meant to live
You always wanted to go
in Venezuela. And I was always dreaming, I would like to discover other places. Anyway, to make the story short, I did an advanced diploma as a graphic designer, and I found a job.
That was in South America?
Yeah, in Venezuela.
Okay. Yeah.
And I found a job in advertising, in a really good advertising company at the time. So I was working for 2 years straight, and the company asked me to take holidays because I had too many holidays accumulated, too much leave.
Yes.
All right, so I decided to look for a place to visit, and I had a friend of mine in Melbourne that she did the graphic design diploma with me, advanced diploma, and she was saying, look, why don't you come and visit me? This is really far away. You will take all that time leave that you got accumulated to spend here. And I thought, oh, you know what? Yeah, why not?
Yes.
Because Venezuela is really close to United States.
Yes.
So my family was always taking me to United States for holidays, school holidays, and I wanted to do something more adventurous. And I came to Australia, and and I spent, I think, over a month. No, about 5 weeks. When I arrived in Sydney, that very moment, I said to myself, I found out the place where I want to live, and it's here.
Oh, really?
So I just spent the time, and then I went back home and I said, Mom, you know what?
So you came to Sydney first, then Melbourne to your friends?
Yes. So I spent 2 weeks in Sydney, and then the other 3 weeks in Melbourne.
Oh, okay. And you knew back then that this is it. I want to be in Sydney.
That was the time that the universe showed me, if you want something, you got to work for it. and I was obsessed, absolutely obsessed with Australia, which it
Why?
wasn't.
What did you love so much about Australia?
The Opera House, the bridge, Bondi Beach, the people.
Yeah, the people.
The Australian people at the time, well, always, they have been amazing. I found that Australian people they got some similarities with people from tropical weathers because, you know, they got the beach
Yeah.
vibe, the style, the laid back, the relax,
Yeah.
the
Chill.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's crazy. That's like, how didn't I know about this place before? Like, how? So that was just before the Olympics. The Olympics in 2000. And when I came back home, I go home and I said, Mom, Dad,
That's it.
right now I'm going to save because I'm moving to that place. Huh? What? Like, no one is going to visit you there. That's all right. I can live with that.
Oh my gosh.
Of course, I didn't know what that really meant. And there have been a few times where I have doubted myself as should I continue with this or should I just pack up and find a job that can just bring the money in and I don't have to worry about making sure that the income is coming or family is asking for more time because you're always too busy making cakes or times where you just feel like, oh my God, this is so lonely. And I feel like I can work long hours and I can put all the effort and the time to this because now I have a purpose. Before I was doing beautiful cakes, but now I have a call and I want to fulfill that. And I feel that now I have that clear, the universe is going to help me to achieve it. So it's hard. You need to put in the work. You need to really invest in yourself. Emotionally speaking, you need to invest in learning and growing. That personal growth, it's really important to be able to give to others through your service, through your products, through what you do. And I think since COVID hit, it was a big wake-up call as why am I doing this? Just looking at the whys. Why am I in business? What am I doing cakes? Am I going to do cakes forever? Is this what it fulfills my heart? It does. I do love it. But what it fulfills my heart is the connection with people through cakes. So it's easy to give up. It's hard to keep going. Yesterday I made a cake for a kid that has a disability. I don't know the extent of it. But the mother ordered for the first time through me, and she did ask me just a few days before collection, please just make sure that the cake is soft. Because, you know, my daughter got a disability. But she didn't explain what kind of disability or what the situation. She only sent me the dress that the girl was wearing for the celebration, and she said, if you can portray that on the cake, that'll be beautiful. So she sent a friend to pick up the cake, and when the friend saw the cake, she was so happy, and she said, you have no idea what this means to the family. And this morning I received a beautiful message from the lady saying, I can't thank you enough because the cake just meet all the requirements, and my daughter was able to eat the cake. That really touched my heart, because you just don't know up to what extent the work that you're doing or the service you're providing is really touching someone else's life. So the fact that that girl is 20 years old today, she was wearing a beautiful dress, but she can't walk. She is disabled, and she has to eat very soft food. So the cake served the purpose, and that really, It was beautiful. I'm sorry, but that's
getting
the beauty.
goosebumps. Yeah.
That's the beauty of discovering what your call is and what you hear, and it's if what you're doing is really what you're meant to do.
Yeah.
What it really makes you happy, what it makes your day. Obviously, we all need to pay bills, but we're here for much more than that.
Yes.
Not only to pay bills, but to serve all the peoples in the most possible beautiful way. Something did happen at the beginning that scarred me for a while.
Really? Okay.
I think I was 2 or 3 years in the business. I was learning how to do 3D cakes, and
3D cakes, okay.
yeah, a cake with an internal structure. So I got this customer that came to me and asked me for a Cinderella carriage, 3D. Okay, I think I had at the time maybe 4 cakes 3D, and I said, yeah, well, I can do that. Of course, I almost 99% I'll take the job, even if I don't know how to do it, but I have an idea and I'll take it.
Yes.
Because that will help me grow and get out of my comfort zone. Anyway, I spent hours, days working on this carriage cake. It was half of the bottom was styrofoam and the other half was cake. Okay? I needed drilling and all of that to be attached to the board, blah, blah, blah. She gave me a photo and she said, I want to give me a photo of a fondant figurine. So I was portraying that into a 3D cake feeding 30 people. Anyway, I made the cake. I probably add more gold details than what she wanted. She was expecting a replication of the photo that she sent. At the time, I didn't know much about, your protocols when you do a cake and sending photos before collection and all of that. I was so excited, so proud of myself about this carriage. And I sent a photo early in the morning. She texted me, how is the cake going? I said, look, the cake is looking fantastic. I'm just doing final touches. She said, can I have a look? Can you send me a photo how it looks? And I said, yeah, sure, of course. Well, I sent a photo, all excited, thinking this lady's going to go nuts because I was in tears looking at that beautiful carriage. Yeah. She called me back and she said, my daughter hates the cake.
What?
I was like that. I beg your pardon? Like, how come? It's not the same as the pictures. And I said, what do you mean? It's just, there is something that it's not the same. The cake, it got too much gold. My daughter doesn't like it. I'm sorry, but my daughter hates the cake. I was about 3 hours to deliver that cake. I worked so many hours. I had very little sleep, and so I had to come back to the lady and say, look, I can't give you the cake for the full payment or for free. So if you don't like the cake, I understand. I'm sorry, I apologize. This is the best I can do. I was really happy. I think the cake was amazing. But the daughter didn't like it, and I said, look, either you pay for it and you take it, or I'll give you a full refund and you get some other cake. And that's what we did. We agreed on that. And she said, okay, yeah, that's all right, but I'm sorry, but my daughter doesn't like it. Yeah, well, obviously the one that is losing at the time, the one that lost was me. But I did win a lot of knowledge on how to deal with those problems. Because 3D cakes, they take a lot of time and effort. That's why they are more expensive. But on the same token, I feel like 3D cakes give you an opportunity to portray something different. It's like, it has built my confidence to help me achieve bigger things.
Absolutely.
So, because if you keep doing what you're doing all the time, you don't grow. There is nothing.
There's no growth there.
Yeah, it's just too comfy.
Yes.
And you don't feel like you got nothing to lose. So
you definitely push your limits and keep growing. Yeah. That's amazing. I think just to wrap up our conversation, love to hear from you some of the tools or ways that you use to learn and grow. How did you, like standing up your own business, how did you go on about learning that if someone watching us wants to start their own business, want to start their own thing, freelancing or whatever, any tips you can give on from your experiences?
Look, don't let people to tell you you can't do it, because every time you come with an idea that you want to do something, a lot of people are going to tell you, oh no, there are tons of businesses like that won't succeed.
Yeah.
Or, that will cost a lot of money. Or they will give you X number of reasons. I didn't come from a business family, so I didn't have any knowledge on how to run a business. So that's what I feel when I worked in hospitality for so long. I could see the inside of working in a business, because it's a family business, the one that I had the opportunity to grow, to work with. And I saw the inside of the kitchen, the finances, the staff, the customer service part. And that gave me an opportunity to have an understanding, or a rough understanding on what it is. And it definitely taught me the most important lesson: you must love what you are going to embrace. You must have a passion so hard and so deep that even when you cannot give any more of yourself, you can still do it. Because there are going to be a lot of challenges. Educate yourself and the level of growth as, are you happy with the life that you have? Are you happy with the money that you earn? Anything that is happening to you is the result of the work that you have put in. No one is coming to handing you more money, or to help you to be rich, or to help you to be famous, or to be happy with your life. You got to do the work. And you got to look and dig in. And when you watch one YouTube video and another one, read books. It's important. I don't have the physical time to read books, so I do a lot of audiobooks when I'm working, just because I can kill two birds, and then I get engaged in that and write goals. Oh, that's super important. It has helped me a lot.
You journal?
Yeah, I don't do journal, but every night, most of the night, I write my goals. And the funny thing is, because you're writing it, it's almost like then things will happen in your life to help you achieve that. It's almost like the universe, it's kind of listening.
You believe in that the universe is coming to help you,
well,
when you put your heart into
it has to be, because otherwise, how are we here? Like, really, it can't be just the money that you earn for what you do and the groceries that you buy and prepare your dinner in life. It's not like that. No one knows how to be a best parent. No one knows how to run a business. No one knows everything from the beginning. It's a journey. So do not get discouraged if you want to have a business. Just focus and do it. All right.
Thank you. Thanks, Merlyn. You've been so inspirational. I loved hearing your story and all our previous conversations as well. I mean, connected with you in a really special way, and I was like, so many things you said was just, I was like, that's how I think as well and how I feel as well. So it was really nice to dive a little bit further into your story and your background today and learn a bit more. And I learned heaps of tips from you today.
Oh,
so
thank you.
I can't wait to put this video together and share with everyone.
Bye. Thanks.